you to the Eat Well Cooking Club. This is our second session of a three-part series. And today I am your facilitator. It's just a little bit about me, that I am a director of advocates for community wellness. I am a nutrition specialist. I'm also a certified plant-based nutrition movement cooking coach. And I also have a certificate in completion on plant-based nutrition from the T. Colin Campbell Center for Nutrition Studies. I have over 18 years of experience in health promotion and disease prevention, coordinating wellness and culinary programs throughout the city. And I'm also the former Illinois State Cooking Matter program, which is a national program for children and families. And this particular segment, our April segment, is a collaborative partnership between two organizations, Advocates for Community Wellness and Stonebridge. Advocate was founded in 2003. We are a nonprofit. We also are a faith-based, non-denominational, holistic wellness promotion ministry without walls. We strongly believe in feeding the spirit, the mind, and the body. Guiding principle is promoting health and nutrition education and awareness program on the relationship between our diet, which is just the foods we eat, our health, and the chronic diseases that we acquire in our bodies. And then we have our partner, Stonebridge Healthy Community Outreach Initiative. The founder is Ollie Smith. She is also the CEO. It is also a nonprofit, 501c3. They were founded in 2008. They were formerly known as Stonebridge Diabetes Support Group. And their primary mission is to bring awareness, prevention, and restoration of lifelong health solutions for diabetes and other chronic conditions to families and communities. Our mission, our joint mission, is to improving eating habits for a healthier lifestyle and increase longevity. We have three goals: to increase consumptions of vegetables, fruits, and whole grains, and all of our recipes reflect that. We also want to encourage a more nutrient-rich diet plan for better health and to reduce risk factors of chronic diseases and illnesses. And thirdly, we want to attain a healthier, through our program, we want to attain a healthier weight through consumptions of plant-based nutrition. Our presenters today is Karen Bryce, our nutritionist, and Chef M.
Hello, everybody. How are you? So my name is Karen Carruthers Bryce. Good evening. And I am the founder of Keystone Educational Center. And I'm also the author of two books. One is a healthy nutrition cookbook, and then the other one is called Winds of Change. But for over 20 years now, I've been studying nutrition, and I'm a bilingual nutritionist. And I work a lot with daycares and families and communities who are trying to help feed the children healthy, especially Head Start programs and childcare programs. We have nutrition workshops for the staff and the parents and the families, which is always fun. And working with the children, of course, trying to get them a healthy start as far as nutrition is concerned. I have a bachelor's in nutrition and a master's degree in education. And I'm licensed also by the state of Illinois to teach food safety sanitation classes. And I also teach CPR and first aid classes through the Red Cross. So nice meeting everyone.
Okay, and Millicent?
Hello, I am Millicent Walker, affectionately known as Chef M. I am the chef director and owner of Cooking Canvas. We are a recreational cooking school where we prepare a wide variety of meals and menu items to expose people to a variety of cuisines. I have always been passionate about food and freshly prepared meals. And this is why I like to show how simple it can be to prepare things at home for yourself, even as you are moving into different lifestyle choices and different nutrition I study culinary arts at Le Cordon Bleu Culinary School in Chicago. I have always had a focus on menu development. I have cooked the majority of my life, and I'm not going to say how many years that is, just to know it's been a lot. I have been a professional chef for the last 5 years, and have been offering a variety of cuisines and menus to a wide variety of people, including the youth and children. I formerly worked in a daycare as well, preparing meals for their children. I also am the executive administrator for Stonebridge Healthy Community Outreach Initiative, and I look forward to presenting this meal for you all today.
Okay, so disclaimers, waivers, and consent. The information presented today's program by Advocates for Community Wellness and its partners is intended for educational purposes only. It's not intended to replace the advice of your medical doctor or healthcare professional with whom you consult. The instructors have shared with you their credentials and their training and their background. I just want to make a note that the nutrition instruction is intended for general information only. And we also want to emphasize that the recipes that we provided you and that you may prepare at home may contain some common allergens. And so you would be taking full responsibility to modify those recipes as needed for your own personal health. And recording. All our Zoom sessions are recorded. By participating in the cooking club, you're giving us permission to film, photograph, video, or audio record you during this segment. But you have the autonomy to turn on or off your video or your mic at your own discretion. Okay, so April is National Minority Health Awareness. And this month, we're focusing, our nutrition focuses on supercharge your immune system with nutrition. I always say that we know what the problems are, diabetes, heart disease, cancer, arthritis. I mean, it's just a host of things. We know what the problems are, but we want to focus on the solutions. In previous workshops, we have stated that the 10 leading causes of death, 6 of them are greatly impacted by our diet, and it's simply by the foods that we eat. Karen?
Hey, everybody. So we're going to go over learning objectives. And the first one is the function of the immune system, the role of vitamin A. And today we're going to be featuring sweet potatoes. So we're going to look at the benefits of sweet potatoes and then also reading nutrition labels, which is very important to optimizing your health. What is our immune system? Our immune system basically is the body's defense against infection. The major function of the immune system is to protect the host, which would be ourselves, from the environmental agents such as microbes or chemicals, thereby the integrity of our body. This is done by the recognition of self and response to non-self. And so when the body doesn't recognize something, it goes into war and sends those war white blood cells to fight that infection and get rid of it for us. Our immune system uses several tools to fight infection, which would be the blood containers, red cells, which carry oxygen to tissues and oxygen and organs, and then the white or immune cells, which fight infection. And the different types of white blood cells fight infection in a different way. Macrophages are white blood cells that swallow up and digest germs and destroy and digest the dying cells as well. Where is the immune system located? First of all, it will be produced more in the bone marrow. This is where most immune system cells are produced and then also multiply. These cells move to other organs and tissues through the blood. And at birth, many bones contain red bone marrow, which actively creates immune system cells. And then it's housed, in fact, actually about 70% of the immune system is housed in the gut. So making sure our digestive system is in tip-top shape can be key to addressing many of the bodily problems. So the benefits of vitamin A: protect your eyes. It also gives you healthy skin and hair. It has cancer-fighting properties, increase of retinoid and carotenoids. It reduces cholesterol. It can help bones and teeth. It can also boost immunity, and it's critical for lung development of an unborn fetus, promotes tissue repair, supports muscle growth, and slows the signs of aging. So, sweet potatoes are a fantastic source of vitamin A. And calories from sweet potatoes is about 86 grams and less than 0.1 gram of fat. So, it's almost fat-free. Protein is not a whole lot, it's only 1.6 grams, but the carbohydrates are 20.6 grams. Sugar is not a lot, 4.2 grams. It provides 3 grams of fiber, which is nice. Here's some of the benefits of sweet potatoes. One of the first benefits. It's a natural anti-inflammatory food. It has antioxidants found in food and are a natural anti-inflammatory agent. And sweet potatoes are full of them. Vitamins from the B family in abundance, like C and A. Sweet potatoes are also a good source of choline, which is usually mostly found in meats and eggs, but we can also find it in sweet potatoes. Choline is very important to tame inflammation, but it is also beneficial for a good night's sleep, learning, and memory and muscle movement. Lastly, when you gain antioxidants from natural sources like nutritious foods, they work better in your body than when you take supplements because they are balanced with their other nutrients. So always going for the original source and the freshest source of organic food is the best way to go over a pill or a supplement. Another benefit of sweet potatoes is potassium. The recommended daily dose of potassium is 4,700 milligrams. Sweet potatoes are one of the highest vegetable sources of potassium, containing almost 500 milligrams, which is great. Potassium is needed by the body to help nerves and muscles communicate to each other, preventing muscle cramps and contractions, and it helps transport nutrients into cells and waste products out of them. Potassium is also important to offset the damage sodium has on blood pressure, and it helps to protect and regulate the working of the kidneys. A third benefit of sweet potatoes is vitamin C. Vitamin C is one of the most beneficial vitamins around. Its versatile benefits work on many areas of the body and the health system. Also known as ascorbic acid, vitamin C is naturally found in vegetables and fruits and is hugely beneficial for things like heart disease, protection against free radicals in the body, the absorption of iron, and reducing cholesterol levels. For adults over 19, the recommended daily allowance of vitamin C is 75 milligrams for women and 90 milligrams for men. Pregnant and breastfeeding women require a slightly higher percentage. One standard serving of sweet potatoes, which is 3.5 ounces, will give you about 47% of your daily recommended dose, which is wonderful. The fourth benefit of sweet potatoes is vitamin A. A lot of orange colored vegetables and fruits, they provide vitamin A sources. So a deficiency of vitamin A can cause deterioration to the outer parts of the eyes, photoreceptors, and can cause damage to vision, which is why it is worrying to learn that 50% of all Americans are vitamin A deficient. Vitamin A and vitamin E, which is also found in sweet potatoes, are wonderful for eye health and may prevent eye problems in the aging process and other degenerative damage. Vitamin A, which is a fat soluble vitamin, is also beneficial to hormone health, which is especially good for women during pregnancy and lactation. And the fifth benefit of sweet potatoes is magnesium. Magnesium is very important for various functions of the body. It helps nerve function, regulates blood pressure, controls blood sugar, and it is a neurotransmitter release. It releases energies to the metabolism and is good for protein synthesis. Many people will be deficient in magnesium and never know it, as it does not show up on any blood tests. This is because magnesium is stored in your bones, not in the blood. So sweet potatoes do not have the largest source of magnesium. Spinach almost and pumpkin seeds are the top of the list for magnesium, but they still do pack a punch of magnesium benefits for the system. And the sixth benefit of sweet potatoes, they are low glycemic. And when we went over the nutrient content of sweet potatoes, you could see that they're very low in sugar. So it's a low glycemic index. And it's not only important to people living with diabetes, but to those considered on the normal blood sugar scale as well. White potatoes have a high glycemic index, which means they have a high carbohydrate level, which converts into sugar and then corresponds to elevated blood sugar levels. In comparison, sweet potatoes, however, are quite the opposite. They are very low on the glycemic index, which helps control diabetes and sugar crashes. Eating regular small amounts can help our bodies to maintain healthy blood sugar levels for people both with and without diabetes. This also helps to balance energy, fatigue, and weight gain.
Chef M, our
Yes.
menu. Mhm.
So for today's menu, we are doing a chickpea tuna salad. Chickpea tuna salad. There's really no meat in it. Macaroni and again cheese. Brussels sprouts with medjool dates, something a little savory and sweet in our veggies, and then also a nice strawberry lemonade slushie. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. You guys are all ready? See, I know that there was a way that you guys are supposed to be able to pin me to your screen so you can see me clearer, but I think if everybody also stays muted, you guys will be okay. So I'm going to start. You guys see, I have quite a few things already all prepped up for you. So I have some water boiling so I can get my macaroni noodles started. And once that comes like right back up to a boil, then I'll get that started. While that is getting ready to boil, I'm going to make a lemonade. So I just have some lemon slices all chopped up. I'm gonna dump those in 2 cups of water. And then I also have half a cup of stevia. And stevia is a sugar substitute. So you don't need quite as much. I can't explain the chemistry behind it, but stevia comes out to be just the taste of it is a little bit sweeter, but I believe it doesn't have as many negative aspects on your blood sugar. And my nutritionist, please correct me if I say anything incorrect.
Oh yeah, you're fine.
I like to cook and I like to experiment. So I'm just gonna give this a quick start, and I want to bring my lemonade up to a boil, and then I want to cool that down. So my macaroni water. Can you guys see everything okay, or do I need to tilt my screen?
I can see.
You can see? Okay. So I'm just going to dump my macaroni noodles into my water, and then let that come back up to a boil. Macaroni noodles are macaroni noodles. Pasta noodles are pasta noodles. Basically, you heat the water, you let the noodles and the water kind of work together in order to soften those noodles so that they are palatable and that you can actually digest them. All right, so we're gonna let that work for a little bit. While those two things are boiling, we are going to get started on our chickpea tuna salad. So what we're going to do with our chickpea tuna salad is use our food processor. You, of course, can certainly use a blender or any other piece of equipment that you have. The reason that we are using the food processor is because it helps to mash everything a little bit better. Although I would imagine you could probably do this by hand as well. So we have, in this container is my spices. Actually, I don't want to put those back straight. Then I also have my chickpeas. So these are drained and rinsed. And then instead of the vegan mayo, I'm using avocado. And you guys should all have received copies of the recipes. So feel free to either cook with me or read along. So I'm just going to, and this was just a mashed avocado. And I'm just going to take it, dump it in, kind of push. I want to push it down a little bit because I don't want my food processor working for too long, because then I'll have a concoction that's not the consistency that I want. And then I have for my spices, I have some garlic cloves, a little red pepper flakes, some regular pepper, and then also some cayenne pepper. So this is gonna be just a little bit spicy, but we want those flavors to balance out with the chickpea. And then I also have some plum vinegar and a little bit of Dijon mustard. And those, the mustard and the vinegar kind of bring my dish together, kind of helps to hold it. Oh. So this part gets a little noisy, of course. But I don't want to blend it for too long, like I said. I just want everything to come together. So I'll start it and then I'll just post it a couple of times. So I don't want it mush, but I want it chopped. You know, kind of like what a chicken or a tuna salad looks like. It looks, you guys see that okay? Yeah?
Yes, it looks good.
So now I'm going to put this in another container. And then I like, when I make my chicken and tuna salads, I like them to be cold when I get ready to eat. So I'm just going to dump this into another container. I'm going to put it back in the refrigerator for a minute. And it's okay to have some chickpea like pieces, because think about it, when you have, you eat meat, when you have chicken salad or tuna salad, you sometimes have those chunks that you want to bite into something, right? You don't want to eat mush, but you want it like nice and chopped. And today's recipes are really very simple. They all came from, just like last week, they came from the African American Vegan Starter Kit. Let's see. So I'm going to tuck this in the refrigerator now. And I like to clean as I go, so if you guys see me go off camera for a second, it's because I'm reaching over to my sink. All right, now next thing we're going to do, while our macaroni is finishing up, I like to stir my, can you guys, I don't know, let me see, let me touch it out just a little bit. I think that's better. So I chose cavatappi noodles. I like the way that they curl up. So I want my noodles to be, I like my noodles to be a little mushier, or I don't like them really al dente. So if you like them al dente, you can, make sure that they're just cuttable. So like the spoon just goes through it. Or if you like them to be a little less chewy, then let them cook for just a little bit longer. Now, I've warmed my oven to 400 degrees because that's the temperature that I need the Brussels sprouts to go in at. And that also will lessen the time that I need my macaroni noodles to cook. While my noodles are finishing up, let's make our sauce. So for this cheese sauce, it's really grapeseed oil. And we're just gonna put all of this together in a blender. Some 2 teaspoons salt, about 3 cloves of garlic, half a cup of nutritional yeast. And that nutritional yeast is going to help it come together like a cheesy sauce. And then we'll start off with 2 cups of soy milk. Now we'll just blend this together. And it can be 2 to 3 cups depending on how saucy you want your cheese sauce. We'll just blend that together real quick. And of course, you know, if you prefer other spices in your macaroni, by all means, certainly. Cooking should be about what you like. Now we are going to bake this sauce as well. So I like this thickness. So I'm gonna leave it here. But like I said, if you like your macaroni, I'll say saucier, feel free to add more soy milk. Okay, so we're going to hold this for a second. Check my noodles one more time. And you see my lemonade is still, you guys see that? My lemonade is still working. So I want that to come to a boil. And then I like to taste my noodles just to see if it's what I want, but you know, that can get to be a little hot. But you know, chefs like to joke that we have no fingertips because we're always grabbing hot stuff. And that's perfect for what I like. So I'm gonna dump this out. And I'll just dump it into this pan. And then I'll coat it with this cheesy sauce. And then you want to make sure that you stir it. You want to make sure that all of your noodles are covered in your cheesy sauce.
So Chef M, if you wanted to add some more seasoning to that, what spices would you add to?
Personally, I would add pepper. You know, salt pepper combination is always good. Depending on your flavor palette, if you like something like a little oregano to make it just a little, I don't want to say Italian based, but you know, a little more noodly. Or let me see, and paprika. If you want to turn up a little bit of heat, you can definitely add some paprika or some what's the other one? Chili, cayenne pepper. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Now we are going to now for our Brussels sprouts. Now, shaved Brussels sprouts, if you can't find shaved Brussels sprouts, you can certainly just chop them up like you would an onion. Half them and chop them up like you would an onion. Now, we are going to, we'll just toss them into our baking dish. And now in this little container is, let's see, I have some salt, some pepper, and some grapeseed oil. And I will just pour it over these. And then make sure everything is all nicely coated. Then we'll roast this for about 20 minutes. And now the dates give that a little bit of sweetness with that, with the bitterness of the Brussels sprouts. So it gives it a nice little balance. The spices, you know, they just help to enhance the flavor and bring out the natural goodness of both the date and the Brussels sprouts. And then the oil just helps to give it a nice coat and help to brown the vegetables while they are in the oven. All right, now let's get back to our lemonade. Now, I want this to come to a boil. And I want it to boil for about 15 minutes. That helps to pull all of the flavors out of, the lemonade, or out of the lemon rather. And then it's preferable to make your lemonade and then cool it so that you do get a nice slushy. So we'll see how time permits. Right. Does anybody have any questions? Any thoughts? No? And I tend to prefer to make lemonade this way as opposed to using packets, just because I prefer not to have preservatives if I can help it. But certainly no shade, as I say all the time. I like, this is what I do, and this is what I even before I became a chef, this was just what I preferred to do. So I don't know if you guys can see how the lemons are starting to break down from the water, and the heat is, all of that water and the sugar are starting to absorb together to create this lemonade. I don't need it. All right, so this is just about to where I want it. And I want this to blend. Like I said, I want this to bubble. Can you guys see how it's starting to boil? And like, even though I prefer to do things from scratch, I still like things to be easy and simple. I don't want to have to spend 2 hours in the kitchen just because I want something that's fresh. As I would imagine, nobody else really wants to spend 3 hours in the kitchen actively working. So you see, we chopped some things up, we threw some things together, and we're just about done. We have to wait for our dish to finish, but in terms of active working, we're just about done. Now, all right. Now, we are going to, we don't want the lemons in our blender when we go to make our slushie. We're gonna let this sit for a second. Now, what I have is just some ice and some frozen strawberries, and that's it. Like, real simple, real easy. Okay. Now, while we're waiting on the dishes to finish, can we go ahead and go through the recipe review? So for our chickpea tuna salad, I had a can of salt-free chickpeas, drained it, rinsed it. Instead of the vegan mayo, I used the avocado. So I had a quarter cup plus 2 tablespoons of mashed avocado, and you guys see I just held it in the shell until I was ready to use it. A tablespoon of Dijon mustard. And then I used 1.5 teaspoons of plum vinegar. And then the celery seeds and the celery. And all of those things just went, and the green onion, it was in there. Along with my spices into my food processor. Blended those things up. And then I'm gonna serve it with some romaine lettuce. I'm trying to stay away from bread right now, so I'm just gonna serve it with the romaine lettuce. And we have fish and seaweed allergies in this house, so unfortunately we could not do any of the seaweed. However, feel free to add that. And that just goes right along. That goes with everything else into the food processor. And then you can just serve everything on with a little bit more seaweed or the romaine lettuce and some toasted bread. Okay. Any questions?
I think she probably used that seaweed as a substitute to get a taste of sodium salt.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe because there isn't a lot of sodium in this dish.
I didn't see any.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
No, outside of what could possibly be in the chickpeas, which is not a lot. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there really was no additional salt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Any questions on that? And I just want to add that substituting lettuce as your holder for your sandwiches is an excellent way. Number one, especially for diabetics, it really helps to reduce that carb load, and also you're getting well, depending on what type of lettuce you're using, but even if it's just iceberg, you're getting some nice alkaline water from the iceberg lettuce.
Yeah, and here we're using romaine as
romaine. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Now, speaking of different lettuces, what would be the best substitute?
Karen?
Yes. So romaine lettuce is very good. Actually, it's much better than iceberg lettuce.
You have a butter lettuce. I really like that leafy green lettuce.
Mm-hmm.
So any like our go-to is really romaine.
Yeah.
And I'll buy those other ones just to blend in with a salad that I may have, or just to get a variety of lettuce of the greens in my diet.
I have made the chickpea tuna before, and I really like it, the vegan chickpea tuna. But I like how you used avocado instead of the vegan mayonnaise. I've used it with the vegan mayonnaise before. Now I would like to try it with the.
And see, I'm a big fan of avocado.
Yeah, so, I am too.
When I saw that was a substitute in the recipe, I was like, oh, perfect, because I am definitely a big fan of avocado. Yeah. And I can't really explain why. I just like it. But I'm sure that there's something, I've heard before that we eat a lot of the things that our bodies need. So I would imagine there must be something that I need from that avocado. So I like them. All right. So the mac and cheese. So we made the macaroni noodles just like you would make any pasta noodles. 1 quart of water into 2 cups of noodles. Start the water boiling first, and then you add your noodles and you wait until about 7 to 10 minutes until it's nice al dente and nicely cooked through. For our cheese sauce, we just blended together 1/2 cup of grapeseed oil, 3 cloves of garlic, a little salt. The nutritional yeast is really what gave it that creaminess, and then soy milk. Okay. And like I said, my oven is up to 400. So it changes the cook time a little bit. It doesn't necessarily cut it in half, but it does change the cook time a little bit. But when you add those ingredients together, you put them into a baking dish, you make sure that your noodles are all coated with your cheese sauce, and then you bake it for about 40 to 45 minutes until a lot of that cheese or a lot of that sauce has been absorbed. Now, I chose this recipe because it did not have a substitute cheese plus, like I said, it was it's featured in the African American vegan starter kit. That was also the reason that I chose it. But it didn't have a substitute cheese, which again, I'm not knocking anybody that likes those, but for me, I prefer the fewer preservatives, the better to me. So I like this recipe for those aspects. And both of those dishes are getting ready to come out of the oven shortly. All right. And then next, our Brussels sprout. And any questions? Any thoughts?
Well, there's something that I just do because I like a little color. I usually chop up some cherry tomatoes to add to my mac and cheese.
Really?
Yes,
I've never tried that.
I call it fortifying my food.
No, I like it.
And bringing more nutritional, value to it.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, that's especially when I'm eating my husband's mac and cheese. I need some type of vegetables to try to offset the cheese. But I just add it in on the end. I just, sort of after I just chop it up and just eat it. I don't cook it in it. I just eat it on top and let the heat of the macaroni just wilt the tomatoes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and tomatoes wilt fairly quickly, so you wouldn't need to add those in for very long in either case. I know one thing that I like to add in a lot of my white sauces is like cauliflower, because it definitely is an extra vegetable that is easy to hide from my children anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Who, and even though they like cauliflower, I think, they see one vegetable and they're like, okay, that's enough vegetables for a plate. So when I want to add multiple vegetables, they're like, no, okay, mom, that's enough. So I like to hide veggies in our food. So the Brussels sprouts and Medjool dates, excuse me. So the dates bring out a lot of sweetness in this dish and helps to curb some of the bitterness of the Brussels sprouts, even though I actually like Brussels sprouts, but it does have an acquired taste, I would say. And then for this, we kind of made a kind of like a mock dressing with the grapeseed oils, the salt, and the spices, just something to give the Brussels sprouts a little bit of something so that they don't burn. They crisp but not burn. Okay. And that was really, something really simple. You can chop them up. If you can't find them shaved, you just chop them like you would an onion, or you can just have them. Even if, if you don't find the shaved, you certainly do not always have to follow a recipe to the letter of the recipe. Recipes are guides. They kind of like give you ideas of how you would like your meal to flow. You can certainly try it to the letter, but you can always make substitutions as well. All right, and now pulling some things out the oven. So we're gonna finish this one now that we're here as well. So we are just going to add, we have our ice, we have our ice, our strawberries, and then I don't want to, but you certainly can if you want to, have the whole lemon in there, you certainly can add it. But I'm just going to add my lemonade. And it's still kind of hot, so I might need a little bit more ice. And then I'm just going to use my nice smoothie extract. And then we have a nice semi-frozen drink. Yeah, and again, you can certainly use a pre-made lemonade if you would like, but this way you have all of those, that richness of actual lemon. So you still have, like little speckles of the flesh of the lemon because that was coming off. You have all of your nice strawberries. So you have all of those fresh fruit right there together in your dish. So this is why I prefer to make my own lemonade. Plus, this is what you do when you have family from the South. You just make lemonade. You have lemons, you make lemonade.
Right.
So, and then if you guys want to see, here, let me show you the other dishes real quick. Oh, and I work on plating as well. So we have our vegan chickpea, our chickpea tuna salad, excuse me. We have our mac and cheese. And this needs to still set, just like a regular mac and cheese. It still needs to set, let some of those juices absorb. All right, so one more time. The chickpea tuna salad. The mac and cheese, and this is fresh out the oven, so it still needs some time to set. Our Brussels sprouts and dates. And then I'm sorry, y'all. I'm gonna use the container I just had it in because it's clear. And then we have our nice strawberry lemonade slushie. And like I said, if you let the lemonade cool for longer, it'll be more slushy-like. Because remember, a hot liquid melts ice, right? So just let it cool a little bit longer, and then it'll be more slushy-like.
All right, we can move forward to the benefits of sweet potatoes, number 7, and that would be beta-carotene. So beta-carotene is the orange-red pigment that is found in plants and fruits and vegetables, especially colorful vegetables such as sweet potato. This is a fat-soluble plant pigment. It is important to eat foods containing beta-carotene because the body converts it to vitamin A. This means beta-carotene is not an essential nutrient, but vitamin A is. What is extraordinary about our system is that the human body will only convert as much vitamin A as it needs to function properly, which is amazing. However, it needs the beta-carotene first to do so. Sweet potatoes have the highest count of beta-carotene amongst all other fruits and vegetables. All right, the benefits of sweet potato, number 8 is folate. The best form of folate is folic acid, otherwise known as B9. Folate is often taken as a supplement, but is also found in many foods. Folic acid is good for everyone for the growth of cells in the body. It is important, is even more important for pregnant women in regard to the development of the fetus. Folate develops and supports DNA synthesis and can prevent neural tube defects when taken in the first 3 months of pregnancy. If you are taking medications, it can disturb the absorption of folic acid, and you should consume more natural food and supplements that contain the folic acid to balance that. And the benefits of sweet potatoes, number 9, it is good for the skin. Eating sweet potatoes encourages glowing, healthy skin and collagen growth. Carotenoid-rich vegetables such as carrots, spinach, and sweet potatoes can help your skin to glow. Vegetables such as these increase the red and yellow tones in the skin, which visibly brighten complexions. You need to consume extra amounts of beta-carotene vegetables every day for around 6 weeks. The beta-carotene in sweet potato also combats the body's free radicals, which encourage the aging process. So, to preserve your skin and stop the aging process, consume more sweet potatoes. So, I have a story to tell. I used to work at a health food store, and the bottom line to my story is variety is the spice of life. Variety is very important. And so years ago in my 20s, right out of college, I worked in a health food store, and we made a lot of smoothies, slushies, all natural, and then vegetable juices as well. Well, there was a man who would come into the health food store and get a carrot juice every day, a fresh squeezed carrot juice. And at one point he came in, he literally was turning orange. He had a toxic level of vitamin A because he drank so much. And my point is, beta-carotene, vitamin A is very good. Sweet potatoes are wonderful, but we want to have a variety in our diet. We want to include sweet potatoes and green leafy vegetables and spinach and fruits, of a plethora of colorful foods and a variety of fresh and natural and frozen foods as much as possible. So that is my story. So any mealtime discussion? Any questions about anything that we talked about with vitamin A? We can see how important vitamin A is for the body and for the immune system. And one thing that I've seen also, the immune system is housed in the gut. That is so important. And this is why we must keep our colon clean and our guts clean, so that we can have a healthy immune. So the more unhealthy guts that we have, and when I'm speaking of a gut, I'm also talking about the beneficial bacteria that also is housed in our guts to help keep food moving and passing through, and to help keep our immune system balanced and to keep our gut healthy. We have villi and little hairs in our guts, and we have healthy bacteria, acidophilus and bifidus, and things of that nature that will help us. And eventually, if the gut is unhealthy, those bacteria will die off, and the villi, even the little hairs, will begin to fade away and not be as active and work as well at a top capacity. So we want to make sure that we're keeping everything tip-top shape: fiber, fruits and vegetables, definitely plenty of water throughout the day. And that helps to keep a healthy colon and a healthy gut. And there is a saying that says, death starts in the colon, and it really can. When food is lodged in there and food is not moving through, and you're not excreting every day, it can cause a lot of problems: polyps, sagging colon. The colon gets dark and black, and it's not supposed to be like that. And we have to remember, we have over 6 feet of colon inside of our body, the large and the small intestine, and we want to keep everything moving through like a pipe in a sink.
Okay, final thoughts is, this program is brought to you through the collaborations of the two sponsoring organization, Advocates for Community Wellness and Stonebridge. We do programming year round. Stonebridge does too. And there's our contact information if you'd like to know more about our events. And definitely you can always go to the website and look up what we're doing. Today's cooking class is sponsored by Cooking Canvas. We want to thank Chef M for providing and out of pocket paying for all of the food, the groceries to produce this cooking segment. And Advocates is a Illinois Department of Public Health COVID prevention ambassador, which means every opportunity that I get, I am mandated to ask people to vax up. And when you get your shot, when you have a shot, you have an opportunity to take your shot, take it, because we're still in the pandemic. And so do all those other things that are being asked of us to do until we get out of it. And that is the fastest way to get back to normal, okay, with people, everyone. I'm curious to know, everyone, have you had your vaccine? You can put in this chat, yes or no, started it. I'm just curious, or I'm holding out, need more information. I held out for a long time. I wasn't going to get it, but we're going to be traveling. And so, because I work from home and in the home, so I can restrict where I go. So I wasn't that concerned about getting the vaccine. But now that we're going to be traveling and going out, I decided just to go ahead and do it to get that extra protection.
Which one did you get?
The Moderna.
Okay. I got the Pfizer.
Hmm? You
I
got the
got the
Pfizer?
Pfizer.
Okay. That's the one I wanted, but I took the first one that came up.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Advocates, I'm working with the marketing organization, and they helping me to build the community. And so they had created a health and diet survey. Did everyone get that? I'll send it out right after this meeting. I'll send it out. It's a real short survey, just yes and no. You know,
Okay.
what's your eating style? It's just just yes and no, and it'll be really helpful to us that we get that information back, and it's going to help me to formulate our next program that we do. Okay, and also I'd like to extend an invitation out to you to join me on the 29th of April for a discussion about cancer, honoring your spiritual and emotional journey through cancer. I said time and cancer favors no one, and it has visited every family in some form or fashion. And so this is a discussion, and I was having a candid conversation with this organization called Wellness House, and they do programming for people living with cancer. So they're actually going through their cancer treatment. I'm a cancer survivor overcomer. But in our discussion, we're just having a discussion. I was saying that, that among all the diseases, heart attack, diabetes, cancer, it impacts you at the core of your soul for certain reason. I don't know. It impacts you at the core of your soul, and it's really uncertain, if you're going to survive it or not. With diabetes, when you get a diagnosis of diabetes, that's not a death sentence, is it? Mm-mm.
No.
If someone tells you have hypertension, that's not a death sentence. I mean, you can do things to counteract that, And so we were talking to them, but I did tell her that through my journey, that what really had helped me is that my spiritual connection that I had with God, that really pulled me through, because it says man will disappoint you. Like, I have family, my husband, my son, and like they bought me soup, they bought me tea, but the struggle that I went through, it's just you, it's just you in there fighting for your life. And we know that so many people has lost the battle, but I really grasped on, and that's really, and I said, I belong to a church. In fact, I'm associate minister at my church. I became associate minister after my cancer diagnosis and recovery. But I said that the church, all they really did, I'll pray for you. I got a few cards. I got some flowers when I was hospitalized 3 times, fighting off, from the reaction. People, they say with cancer, most people die from the treatment, not the cancer. They die from the treatment, because we're talking about those pathogens. That's a toxin that goes in that chemo. And I'm not going to go off on it because I see expressions and stuff, but but that's a toxin. And my body, my body was weak. The number one thing is that how the cancer took hold is that because my immune system was compromised. Most people get exposed to cancerous cells. They'll get it throughout their lifetime. Everyone doesn't get cancer, but if the environment is ideal for the cancer, what they call to progress and grow, okay, because your immune system is compromised, because your immune system is strong. And at that time, during that time, I was eating a lot of restaurant fast food every day because of the nature of my job.
Mm.
Okay, and that's over years. It's not just a year, but that was over years of doing that. Okay, so but anyway, we're going to have an honest discussion about the journey and how our spiritual as well as our emotional wellness and health really pulls us through anything, through any chronic illness and disease. And so I'm going to invite you, I'm going to personally send this out to everyone too, because you can just, if you're interested, you register. If you know someone that's in the battle, share it with them, and or any caregivers, please share it with them. And we're going to invite you to our next session, was April 28th, which is our delicious desserts. Chef M is going to, I'm waiting for those recipes, going to show us a few different delicious vegan, right?
Yes.
Yeah, vegan desserts. Okay.
Yes.
And we thank you for your support. We thank you for supporting by spending your evening with us. And any donations that you are, your heart offers you or speaks to you, both our organizations are nonprofit. If you were invited by Advocates for Community Wellness, you would donate here. Any donation is welcome. And I'm telling you, nothing is too small, because even if you gave $3, you can put anonymous, okay? Any donation, $5, $10, is welcome to help us to continue on, because this does cost. It costs us to put this forum together for the community. And we're looking for it to grow. So thank you for joining us today, and looking forward to seeing you next week.